This all-in-one water cooler has a broken pump, and what you see right here is what's remaining from a custom water-cooled PC that had a catastrophic failure. Basically, this all-in-one over there had a massive leak in between the fins. I'll try to put the footage, it's pretty crazy. If you put pressurized water inside of it, it was literally leaking from behind the fans. It was such a bad leak that even though the fluid inside is non-conductive, since that had been running for a few years, it ionized, basically picked up little ions from the metal inside the loop, and it shorted out the motherboard, basically breaking the computer. However, I was able to save the GPU, and we can still make something out of this, even though it's not fixing the motherboard, because I literally tried everything with this. I tried reflowing, BIOS flashing, but it actually burned quite a few components on the PCB of the motherboard, the fluid, the shorting, so there's nothing left to do except for throwing a spinning kick at it out of frustration. Now, the idea behind all of this is a GTX 1080, not even the Ti version, but still a decent card even in 2026, and if overclocked, it can still match an RTX 5050. So the plan is to basically cut the tubes in this only one, because this is the only part that's broken. The radiator works, and in this custom loop, the only part that's broken is the radiator. Now, you cannot just attach the tubes here, but with some zip ties or some magic, I think we can still make it work. Now, we could also then just do a full custom loop and attach this somewhere, but it will then be modular, so I can also do that at a second date. What I want to do right now is get it running to have basically an all-in-one water-cooled GTX 1080, and this is a Strix model, so it's a very good model. And this, with some BIOS flashing, should still be able to play very fast at 1080p. So if you have a broken all-in-one, you can probably fix it by integrating it with custom water cooling hardware, which you can find for very cheap on the used market, probably 10, 20 bucks for a used pump, if you're willing to cut some tubes. So with that said, welcome back at ImWateringPSUs, and let's get started. So in short, this we're throwing away. We can save the fans maybe, but this is just has to be thrown away. But we are recouping the fittings. This is going to be our new pump, and the pump was here, so this has to go. I need to decide if I want to keep those tubes or if I want to just attach the tubes here. That's the second question. This is a pump and reservoir, so we're going to have more fluid, but we are basically done with fixing it. And we are connecting it straight into here. Normally, you would connect this to the actual only one, like this, and then connect this also to the GPU. So one tube goes there, one tube goes there, and then this goes here, and this goes all the way back. Now, first of all, I just dismounted the Arctic all-in-one, because I was still thinking I could use the integrated pump. However, the design is such that you could not remove the water block in any way. The actual CPU cold plate, the thing you see over here, was not easy to remove, and you would still have this design basically attached somewhere. It was very complicated to repurpose, and honestly very hard to refill, because the radiator actually doesn't have any drain ports, so would have been a mess to actually fill up properly. So this is something you can do for a GPU. The actual pressure is going to be enough, but if you switch to a bigger pump, you get literally more FPS once you flash the right BIOS into the card, and it's just so much easier to install. The only problem is, instead of having just basically a card with a radiator, you could plug the pump here and be done. You then have to accommodate for the actual huge pump and reservoir combo somewhere, which also looks cool, especially if you get fluid like the one I got, which we'll cover in a second, but it's definitely less convenient. So after dismounting the pump for nothing, we went ahead and extracted the tubes from the actual pump, and I was pretty pleasantly surprised to discover that Arctic just uses some compression fittings, and we just had to crack them open, and we could replace them with zip ties if we wanted to, no problem. And we basically have very usable tubes, very good tubes as well. These tubes are, however, not compatible with my water cooling hardware, so I just did what we always do on the channel. If you've been following me for 5 years, probably, I don't know, one of you has, but you know we like to do that, so we jammed the smaller tube into the bigger tube, and then we went ahead, zip tied it, and then covered it in duct tape. This is very professional. I know, thank you guys for all the praises, you don't really have to. And I then just went ahead and used the original hardware to connect everything. The loop order is pretty simple. Basically, from the pump, it goes into the radiator, from the radiator, it goes into the GPU, from the GPU, it goes back into the res. So it's just far more convenient to build in. Now, after getting everything connected, I just went ahead and plugged the power supply to it and started filling up the loop. Now, you always fill it up from the actual reservoir, However, I decided to use this. This is my favorite fluid in the world. And this brand used to be not a channel sponsor, but they sent some fluid over just a long time ago, like 3 years ago, back when nobody knew me. I don't know why they sent some fluid over. And I think this is the best fluid on the market. The only problem is the brand went bankrupt. I think they closed the company, so you cannot buy it anymore. This is one of my last 2 bottles. And unfortunately, I don't actually build that many custom loops, and it's very unique colors, so you cannot really cover it very much. And I'm sorry they went bankrupt, but they are very good. And they also used to make a graphene coolant, which was insane. It was actually like 5 degrees cooler than regular coolant. Crazy stuff, but they just, I don't know, nobody bought it, and they just went out of business. Tough, but anyways, rest in peace, Go Chiller. And back to us, I just filled up everything, and it was so satisfying. I went with this aqua color. I think it matches perfectly. Even though the tubes and the water block previously had red coolant in it, I find as it runs, it's actually clean it, and it looks very vintage. I really like it. And at that point, I just closed it off as all the bubbles went out, and we're basically ready for testing. And here is the finished product. This thing is insane. First of all, the actual temperature is insane because we are running a very big pump from XSPC, which was meant to be used in a CPU and GPU loop. And we're using that with a really thick radiator because Arctic has really thick radiator with good fans for a single GTX 1080. So at stock, this thing basically runs at ambient temperature. Keep in mind, currently in Italy, it's summer. It's 30 degrees outside. It's really hot. And still, this thing is running this cool. Even at stock, with the stock BIOS, this is already just maxing out Turbo Boost and running very well for 2026. But with a simple overclock via Afterburner with the stock Strix BIOS, we get quite the hefty performance improvement. I'm going to be talking synthetics mostly, so just 5-strike currently. Then we're going to be covering, of course, what it can do in games. But then, if you flash something crazy in it, I was actually considering shunt modding it because I actually repasted the whole card, of course, as I was dismounting everything. This is where you could still do it. There are 2 little resistors near the actual 8 and 6 pin connectors. You could just shunt mod them. And as you know, 6 pin can carry the same current as an 8 pin, still 150 watts. So this could do 150 times 2, 300 plus 25 watts, basically 400 watts without really going crazy. This card can pull. And with a simple BIOS flash, which on the GTX 1000 series is still very easy to do, even cross-flashing, we can get another 10 to 15% performance. On top of that, of course, completely ruining our power efficiency. I would not recommend it for daily usage unless you have a 1000 watt 80 plus platinum PSU for some reasons in your build. But the thing is, with those settings, this thing can play Apex Legends at 1080p at well over 240 FPS, no problem. Can play Warzone at well over 240 FPS. You can play the latest titles, even Cyberpunk, decent at 1080p. But the thing is, and now get ready, this basically matches an RTX 5060 or an RX 9060. It's on the same level. It's faster than an RTX 4060. Of course, if we don't consider ray tracing and DLSS and all that kind of tech. But at 1080p, even with the 8 gigabytes of RAM that this GTX 1080 has, this is still a very good card. Now imagine doing this to a 1080 Ti. Would have been even better. Imagine doing this maybe to a 2080 Ti. Maybe you buy off the used market a water force card, like one of those cards with included water block. And on GTX 1000, you could still convert this to air if you wanted to, via an Arctic accelerator or something like that. But on 2000 series, with the VRAM temperature issue, you could not do that anymore, not as easily. So those cards have a very small market and they don't sell. So you can buy them for cheap and literally buy a broken only one water cooler and just get a pump off of eBay for 20 bucks and build something like this for super cheap and have a killer setup with a 2080 Ti fully unlocked and overclocked. Even by today's standard, you can, now I don't want to overextend myself, but with the right overclock, you can get very close to RTX 5070 performance, at least in rasterization, okay? And if we compare it to a stock card, which is impressive, really impressive. So if you're an enthusiast and you want something unique, you should definitely do that. I'm super happy I did it, and I think this is a great project. I'm super hyped about it. I want to use this in a little workstation somewhere and just keep it around. And as usual, I want to hear what you guys think. Do you think this was a cool project? Would you replicate it? How could I improve it? Liquid metal, I think I should have done. But let me know down below. And of course, if you watched the video this far, drop a like and subscribe. You can also now become a member, and see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.